That intro makes me so happy. Welcome back, everybody, to Two Girls, No Fucks. I am Katrina.
I'm Ashley Marie.
And we are still on this wild world of dating.
Facts.
But before we continue, I went down a rabbit hole. And this is why, like, I listen to other podcasts and they habitually don't listen to themselves for this reason that I'm about to mention, because I went down the proverbial rabbit hole after I heard the last couple of episodes of us, and I feel like I need to clarify some things. So when we talked about catfishing, and I think it was the last episode, I can't really confirm whether or not I've been catfished. Because I never met said person, whether it was the person who actually sent me their picture or if it was someone else pretending to be them. I was told by friends that I was catfish. And then not too long after that, like, I still continue to talk to that person because English accent gets me every time. It's fine.
Okay.
I will be grown enough to admit that, but I literally haven't talked to this person in like a handful of years. But I just wanted to clarify that because I felt some kind of way about it. And I was like, ooh, I don't know if this is going to come off right or what. So
strangers on the interwebs, don't be judging Katrina. That's all.
I mean, they can if you guys don't really. I mean, you know me through this, but like you don't know me, so judge me all the fuck you want to, but I don't fucking care. But I just, that was a cringy moment for me, and I just wanted to clarify that. So that's all I had on that.
I guess there's a few things that I should clarify.
Get it,
but I kind of just want to leave it the way it is. Y'all can believe whatever you want to believe.
Also that, and I want to be in that headspace so bad, but the way y'all don't understand. I texted Ashley Marie so quick after listening to that, and I was like, girl, I'm spiraling right now. She's like, what's wrong? I was like, did I really just admit I got catfish? Like, what am I doing? Like, I literally felt like Alice in Wonderland, and it just kept spiraling and falling and spiraling and falling. It's really not that serious, but in my brain at that time, it felt really serious. So I just wanted to address that.
If it put you in your feelings, then you needed to talk about it.
There
I
it
fully
is.
understand
and we're done with it. So I'm not addressing it anymore. It's done. So yeah. But did you wanna?
Y'all can believe I'm a lesbian.
You're not a lesbian.
I'm a whatever you want to believe that I am. Y'all can believe that I'm out here giving everybody rodeo. Y'all can believe what you want.
You are a lover of good people.
I am.
That's it. It doesn't need to have a label on it. So we can just leave it at that. And however the people want to interpret it.
But currently I ain't love nobody. Okay?
But yourself.
This is true.
And the baby's on your back.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's it.
So, all right. Want to get into this episode?
Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be... it's good. I feel like it's going to be a good one. So this is about intimacy and how to get there.
And what you deem intimacy for yourself.
Right.
Because it doesn't necessarily have to be physical.
Exactly.
It can be the depths of how you share yourself with someone. Mm-hmm. I guess that's how I label it for me.
Okay. Sounds good. One of my questions is like, what does intimacy really mean? Like, when you think of intimacy, I think you just kind of touched upon it, like not being physical. Do you want to go more into that?
So for me, it's like bearing my soul.
Okay.
There's like certain parts of me that I don't let people see for this sole reason.
Pun intended.
Yeah. Because in past relationships, in past friendships, it's been used against me. So if I give you pieces of me that are hard for even myself to swallow at this ripe old age, I don't want to hear it thrown back in my face.
Right. No, that's fair. For sure. Yeah, intimacy to me is more than just, like, physical is a layer of intimacy, but I feel like the emotional, like, if you can get me on some smart shit, you have me, essentially. You know, like, I don't want to hear, like, ooh, you look so good and knew your body this and blah, blah, blah. I was like, wow, like, the way you handled that situation like a motherfucking boss, that was sexy. Or, you know, like,
for me,
shit like
it's
that.
when people say you're so talented, I'm like, me.
Let me clutch pearls I don't own. Because
That's what I'm saying.
that's
like,
what we're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, we got
it just feels so nice.
got a little visitor at the door. I know. Baby, we're recording right now. We'll be out in a little bit, okay? We'll see you in a little bit. Bye.
We're talking,
And she's out.
we're talking to my tiny crotch goblin, if you guys wanted to know.
Not a crotch.
Yeah.
I can't stand you.
Yep. That's what it is.
It's fine. And allowed. She's absolutely adorable. Did she just come from dance class? Okay. I saw the tights and the tutu and put 2 and 2 together. I'm tired. So intimacy, back to that. How important is intimacy in a relationship?
I guess, again, you're talking about which level. Like, physical intimacy is important because, again, if you don't give it to somebody, they're going to go look for it somewhere else. Because that's an aspect of a relationship. All things have to balance, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So the physical intimacy, the emotional or mental intimacy, and then communication. And if all of those things are meshing together, you're
That's a beautiful trifecta
yeah,
when it all
you're
comes
having a
together.
good time. But for me, it takes a while to get physical, just because even before I became a mom, but specifically now that I'm a mom, like I have a mom body. I don't want nobody to see me naked. I'm like, can I wear a shirt? Like, I pretend like this is the public pool. Can I wear a shirt?
I can't.
Is that allowed?
Are you wearing a shirt under the bathing suit?
I'm wearing a shirt the whole time, my guy.
Oh
if
my
I could wear a
God.
full body suit, I would.
I can't. First of all, you owe nobody what is out there that society says or deems to be palatable, if you will. Fuck that shit. We have hormones. You grew humans, plural. Girl, fuck what everybody says. Fuck them.
But we're like, I don't know if it's just now, but we're in an age right now that like men gossip just as much as women gossip.
I guess.
So like people are out here sharing their sexual escapades with everybody who will listen.
Maybe it's deep. Well, maybe that's a level of intimacy that hasn't been nurtured enough in their one-on-ones where they feel like in a group setting, it's more... I'm looking for a word. I can't find it. It's Monday. It definitely feels it.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, like it just, they're looking for something that's not in their situationship, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Looking for it in a group setting because they chose not to communicate it to their one situationship, that they weren't getting what they needed. It seems like a really...
Yeah.
It feels like, you know that ride at Canopy Lake where I think it's like the turban twist and literally the floor comes out from underneath you and you're stuck to a wall just spinning. That's what it feels like.
For sure.
That's a lot. I can't. God, I'm so glad I'm grown. Because that's just like, that's too much. That's too much.
You're telling me.
What else you got
So
on
I'm like,
intimacy? No, you're good. Yeah.
I don't know. It's a feeling. It's a feeling, like the physical, actual feeling of rodeos, like I call them.
I giggled so hard when I listened to that one too. I was like, "Oh, Trina, you sound so out of touch." You're like, "Yeah, I want to know what that means."
Well,
Even
this
though
is just-
I knew what you meant,
Yeah.
but I just needed clarity to make sure I wasn't assuming.
So, like,
what
the
it was.
act of a rodeo, the physical portion
Piece
of
of
it,
that, yeah.
the physical feeling obviously has to be good. But for me, I have to be mentally connected to that person.
Sure.
Like, I have to like you at least a little bit for this even, you know? Because if not, the gates ain't opening.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Not at all. Yeah, it's just, I'm fully on board with that as far as like, I need to feel some kind of connection to the person before the physical intimacy gets introduced to it, which is why the emotional piece is so important. You know, like you want to be able to connect with a person on multiple levels. This way, when the physical comes, it's just, you're sailing. It's not like it's not turbulent, if you
Yeah.
will, or turbulent in a bad way, kind of a thing, you know. So
For sure.
yeah,
Like, I mean, I wish that I was the type of person who could just do it and just be done with it. Clean break, you know? But
wow, I am not built that way.
I know I can't.
I am
and I wish
not built that way.
Like,
I also wonder, like, people who are able to do that, like, they just get it in and go. Like, what does that even look like? Doo-doo, we're still in here.
no, she's just gonna keep looking at you.
And that's fine. She can keep looking at me, and I'm going to keep responding to her. And she just giggled at me and walked away, so it's fine.
I don't know. Like, there's people who are doing it with multiple people at one time. I can't even fathom that.
God, we just got through a pandemic. We're still doing that?
Yeah, yeah.
Ugh. There's so many germs.
I just, oh God, it's so scary. And I don't know, like,
I'm sorry.
It's okay,
We're
it's
so
okay, it's
distracted. I'm so distracted because our sound engineer is definitely looking for your baby.
oh my God.
Oh no,
Sorry.
he's talking to her. He's talking to her. We're good. We're good. She's good. She's good. Okay, she's good. This episode's gonna be all over the place.
Mertz, don't kill me, please.
Mertz is killing it on the other side. We need to give him a tip with this one.
We're just gonna need to scratch this whole episode and do another.
No, it's fine. We're keeping this one. This will be fun in the archives. So, but yeah. What else you got? I know.
How do you get there? How do you get, like, what? Is there a timeline? Is there a feeling? Like, how do you decide, okay, now I'm going to be intimate with this person? Because younger me, when I started the talking phase or the dating phase of someone, I wouldn't sleep with them right off the bat.
Yeah, no. I'm not doing that.
So I would do things to prevent myself. Like, even though I would go and hang out with them and I wanted to, I would do little things, and most girls are going to know this trick, but, like, I wouldn't shave. So then I would purposely not, like, I would be like, oh, well, I'm not going to get naked because then I'll be embarrassed. And the weighing the weighing of being embarrassed would be way worse than, you know? Yeah.
I think for getting into that space, I don't know that it's necessarily a planned thing. I think it just happens organically in a sense
Or it should.
It should. Like, I don't feel like I've ever had to force intimacy on any of my partners. I feel like it was just naturally there, be it physical or emotional. But, like, yeah, it feels like it's an organic thing. It doesn't need to be forced. You don't have to force it. If it's there, it's there. If it's not, get off the next exit and find somebody else who can connect with you on that level.
For sure.
Because not everybody is going to connect with you on that level. And that's okay. They're not supposed to. So, because that gets exhausting, I feel.
Oh my God, so
Like,
exhausting.
emotionally exhausting. Like, who wants to connect to that many people that... And that's another thing, too. Like, how do you connect with that many people in such a short period of time and just keep that cycle going? Like, that just feels
Well, you gotta write,
dizzying.
to quote you gotta go through your Rolodex, right? And you keep little
Yes.
notes on there, like,
this
so-and-so
person
likes this, like
yeah.
this on Tuesdays
that's
after
fair.
lunch. Like,
Yeah.
you keep the notes.
I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I just feel like it should be as natural as a river flowing through the sea, to the sea. That was a little more corny or poetic thing I've ever said in my life. So, there's that. You okay over there?
I actually thoroughly enjoyed it, so don't ruin it for me over here. Thank
I'm like,
you.
it should flow easily like the river to the sea.
Should just be nice and, like, sweet. And
It just should just flow. And it's so funny to say, like, because I'm not a person that goes with the flow, but when it comes to connecting with someone, it has to. You have to go with the flow. Because I used to be rigid in my shit, and no one ever stuck around with that. So it's not fun to be around. Like, it wasn't fun to be that person, and I can't imagine it was fun to be around me as that person.
So I'm having the opposite right now.
Okay.
I used to be a go with the flow, like whatever the other person wanted. I was like being that people pleaser, being that like catering to you, you know. And now I'm becoming more rigid.
See, and that's all where the communication comes in, right? So like if you're wanting to be intimate with someone, that's where you have that conversation with them, like, hey, I'm feeling this, or hey, how you feeling? Or, you know, like when I said in one of our other episodes, like, are you trying to be my boo or not? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
So, because I'm not trying to dilly-dally, because my feelings are growing and I need to know if you're on the same page.
Oh, once we're
at least
at that
in the same
point
chapter.
Yeah.
You know?
Once I'm deeming it like I'm going to do this, I already have feelings. Or like I already like, you know, scrapbooked our wedding. Like I'm fucking, I'm a mess.
Not scrapbook the wedding.
Yeah. Not
funny.
anymore. And like I
Listen,
said,
it's
I'm
fine.
being
If you
very
still
guarded.
have a Pinterest board with wedding shit, girl, keep
I
it.
don't even have Pinterest. I have no.
That's probably a good thing, because that's
have-
also a rabbit hole
Oh,
that
yes.
I've lost hours of my life on that. So
That's a subject that like marriage, and that we'll touch on that in a different episode. That's a subject that is far, far, far out of my mind. It used to live in the forefront of my mind, and now it
that's fine.
does not.
Fine and fair. I'm fully on board with that. What you got?
So, how often do you think physical intimacy should be present in a relationship? Like on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis? Like,
I think it depends on the people. I think there are a lot of factors that come into play. Sometimes people can't be physically intimate because they have health issues, or their mind's not right. In a sense, like you got other shit going on in your brain and you just can't seem to get past your own shit to physically connect with another person. I mean, I think I said in either like the last episode or a couple episodes ago, like my wife and I have like monthly check-ins, and that's just emotional check-in, not necessarily intimacy check-ins, but the intimacy piece is like, it's not something we really plan, it just happens. Although I'm sure like later on as we get older and lives get busier and stuff, we'll may need to schedule something just to like make sure that each of us feels important enough to have the time in each other's lives to continue to grow that piece of our relationship. And I've heard of other couples doing that, and I think it's great for them. Like if that's what they need to do to keep the spot going, then by all means go for it. But I don't know that it necessarily deserves or needs a timeline or like a specific like every Tuesday at 8 like kind of a thing, you know? Like if you're feeling it and I'm feeling it, or if I'm not and you trying to get me to and you know how to get me to, like that works too, kind of a thing. So how about you?
so I'm in a weird place with that. I think just because I work, I'm a mom, like I have very little time for myself. Not that I have anyone, you know, that I'm like, hey, let's go and do this. I really, at this point, have no ambition to, if that's weird.
No, I don't think so. I think your priorities are different right now. That's all.
It's just nothing is doing it for me. If
It's fair.
So.
You see how carefully I'm moving this water bottle so I don't hit the mic?
The burner's turned off right now, and we're chilling.
There's nothing wrong with that. As long as the gas line is connected for when the time comes.
But that's what, like, I get, you know, concerned about. I'm like, oh, God, should I go talk to somebody? Should I, like, what should I do?
Yeah.
So this is me blanketly stating that if you feel like there's something off with yourself, whether it be your emotion, your desire, anything like that, seek help, or at least get a second opinion on what's going on. If you feel like you are wanting it too much, that is also a problem.
Yeah. Just about.
As a person who has a slightly addictive personality, I will learn when something is too much or too little. And it's either all or nothing for me. So I'm trying to.
That's fair. I too don't see gray. It's black
awful.
and white. It's black and white all the time. Those who see gray, tip my hat off to you, but
Teach me your ways.
You're right. Because that shit's tough. But here we are. So, yeah. that's pretty much all I got for intimacy. How about you?
I mean, we can talk about the like nitty gritty of it. Like, this falls again with in one of the last episodes we talked about body count.
Right.
You may feel uncomfortable getting intimate with someone because their body count is higher than yours, because they have more experience than you do. That shouldn't make you feel insecure.
Right.
You should be comfortable enough with that person to speak clearly. Like, hey, just so you know, this is not my first rodeo, but it's probably like my 17th rodeo. So, like, take it easy on me.
But also, and again, 30-year-old Trina's trying to hear you on that. We're trying. And it's tough because when you're going up against what society has drilled in your head of like all the things wrapped around being intimate with somebody, and you come across someone whose experience exceeds your own, there's a level of insecurity that creeps in that you didn't know was there to begin with. And that can be a little tough to navigate.
I get that. It also comes with like the stereotypes.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
As women of color, there's a stereotype that labels us that we should be like freaks and we should be like,
Girl.
oh yeah, like spicy Latina and black girls, and like that's a thing.
Oh, I know.
It's a stereotype.
I know.
And
it's a horrible stereotype.
currently at,
No, we good.
4 days shy of 35. Whew.
4 days.
I do not.
Oh, no, because by the time this episode comes out, you'll be 35.
By the time this episode comes out, I will be 35.
Oh, shit.
I remember in the first episode, I told you guys I wasn't going to turn 35. I changed my mind.
Yeah, you are. I knew that was happening.
I just want to eat a cake, so let me live, okay? That's
You're
it.
funny. You are funny.
But yeah, I don't fall into that spicy anymore, that spicy category.
That's fine. That was for our 20s. For some of us.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
For some of us, it was for like 6 months. And then we're like, I'm tired. My knees hurt. Fuck you. I'm out of here.
I'm going to go put my sweatpants on and watch trashy TV and call it good. And thanks. So, yeah.
I don't know. I really want to hear from like some of our avid listeners. Like what is most important to you about intimacy? Whether it be physical intimacy or the emotional portion of intimacy. What sort of does it for you? And what is like hard, like this is what turns me off. Those are important. Like,
Absolutely.
For me,
For sure.
if you show no interest in my regular life or in my mind,
Yeah.
then you shouldn't have access to my body, period.
Also that. That's the boundary right there. That's a grown girl boundary right there. And a lot of people, it takes a lot of time for that to be a thing.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it took me a lot of time to get to that point.
It happens. You know.
But we're here now.
But we're here.
And we feel good.
Yeah, we do. In the middle of your 30s.
And I know.
Wow.
Oof. Yikes.
Feels
Don't
like
tell
such a
nobody.
feels like such a long time ago. I'm being dramatic. Like, it really wasn't that long ago, but it also sometimes feels
So
like
what
it was.
else? What else?
I don't know. I don't think I have anything else with intimacy. My brain was wrapped around just making sure that bitches didn't think I was like super mega catfish. Like I'm not one of those people on the show that was like, I didn't know. Also have to be fair. Like I lived in a time before social media was like a thing where you could do deep dives
and I thank
on people
God for that.
every single day.
Because
But
y'all would see so many sweaty photos of me in the club.
so
Oh, man!
I also still cringe when the memories pop up, being like, this is what you said 15 years ago.
Yep.
Who let me say this?
Who let me write like that?
Who let me
Double
say this?
eyes and hashtag this and hashtag like who? Where are my friends at? Where were y'all at?
They were not. They were
Okay.
not there. They were doing the same thing on their Facebook. That's what they were doing. But anyways,
Who was letting me code on MySpace like I was fucking working in
how
IT?
do we know to code like with all of that stuff? How do we
Because
know?
One person figured it out and we shared it on fucking what are they called?
The message boards, or
Yeah, like they were essentially like digital bulletin boards. And we were just going back and forth teaching people how to do stuff.
Yeah.
And when you learned something cool, you wanted to teach everyone else because you wanted
Right.
everyone else the opportunity.
Right.
So like I remember someone would open my MySpace page and immediately my music would start and then like stars would fall from the top of the screen.
Yeah.
And it'd be some depressing like
Oh shit!
think
And they
the
didn't. They did
last-
not care.
Oh, they didn't.
About like, especially like with that whole top 8.
Oh yeah.
Top 8 was brutal. That top 8 is equivalent to a draw 4 in Uno.
For sure. But also if you shifted somebody in your top 8,
Oh, it was a mess.
you better have an explanation.
You better have a reason. You better have a reason.
know.
Why am I not number 1 no more, bitch?
And your best friend had to be number 1 and your boyfriend better be number 2.
Yep.
And that's that.
And that was
And
that.
the music was describing your feelings at the time. It was just
God, what a
Yeah.
mess. What a train wreck of events.
Yep.
Anyways. You got anything else on this?
I feel like I do, but my brain is just
I know
somewhere
it's Monday
else.
and it's fine. I get it. I'm there with you. And I'm sure some of our listeners are with us on that as well.
For sure.
So
I think you guys just like to hear our voices and stuff.
we would hope. I mean, if you made it this far, God bless. So yeah. I mean, we can end it there if you want. What do you feel?
Good to me.
You feeling okay?
Well, if
We can always
If we
touch
forgot
back about it.
anything, we'll apologize on social media. And then we'll add another episode
Yeah,
just
'cause,
for y'all.
But also like, I'm not gonna go down this rabbit hole anymore. At least I'm putting it into existence. Whatever is said, it's out there. It lives there. Whatever.
So the thing that I do is I do not listen to our episodes until they come out for you guys.
Oh no.
So because I did it the first time and then I was like, oh God, I sound like a crazy person. Who let me like
Who let me have a
Mertz
podcast?
just turned my mic off. Shit.
He's like, no, I'm not doing that.
So now because we're always like 3 or 4 episodes ahead. So I wait until it comes out for you guys and then I re-listen and I'm like, I really said that. I really stumbled over my words. Like I don't own an encyclopedia.
It's all
Fucking
good.
3 dictionaries and didn't learn English as a second language. Get it together, ma'am.
You're fine. You are fine. No worries.
But
But yeah, so all right. Well, we can end it there. Thank you for joining us on this episode. Follow us on all the socials.
all of them.
Thanks to the Bridge Sound and Stage and Mertz.
Special thanks to Mertz.
I know.
I love you so much.
Mertz is
Don't
doubling
kill
as a
me.
sound engineer and a babysitter.
Yeah.
Shout out to the fact that he also has a little nugget that's the same age as our baby, so he knows the ropes. And
Shout out to our 100 followers on IG. We love y'all.
Oh my gosh, that was quite a sight to see, to say the least. I do have a quote on intimacy. And it
whoop.
says, true, authentic intimacy in relationships goes so much deeper, covering so much more than just the physical.
Oof.
Boop, boop, boop. That's all I got. So, with that being said, we will see y'all bitches on the next episode.
Bye.